The Great Flood of China, 1931. Imagine a world swallowed by water. Not a gentle rain, but a relentless, consuming deluge. In the summer of 1931, this nightmare became reality for millions in China. The Yangtze River, usually a source of life, turned into an agent of death. Weeks of torrential rain, combined with melting snow from distant mountains, pushed the river beyond its limits. The consequences were catastrophic. The floodwaters didn't discriminate. They engulfed farmland, villages, and entire cities. Homes crumbled, crops were destroyed, and families were torn apart. Communication lines were severed, leaving communities isolated and desperate. The scale of the disaster was almost impossible to comprehend. Think of the sheer volume of water. It wasn't just overflowing riverbanks. It was an inland sea, stretching for miles. People clung to rooftops, trees, anything that offered a temporary refuge. The floodwaters carried disease and despair. Clean drinking water became a precious commodity, and hunger gnawed at the survivors. The numbers are staggering, almost too large to grasp. Estimates place the death toll between 1 and 4 million people. Each number represents a life lost, a family shattered, a future stolen. These weren't just statistics. They were mothers, fathers, children, grandparents. They were people with hopes, dreams, and lives cut short by a force of nature. Imagine the desperation of those who survived. They faced starvation, disease, and the constant threat of collapsing structures. The bonds of humanity were tested to their limits. Stories of incredible resilience emerged from the chaos. People shared what little they had, risking their own lives to help others. The floodwaters eventually receded, but the devastation remained. The landscape was scarred, and the social fabric was torn. Rebuilding was a monumental task. The disaster exposed the vulnerability of communities living along the river. It also highlighted the need for better flood control measures. The 1931 China floods serve as a stark reminder of the power of nature. It's a lesson in humility and the importance of preparedness. We must learn from the past to protect ourselves from future disasters. Understanding the forces that shape our world is crucial for survival. It's important to remember the victims of the 1931 floods. Their stories should not be forgotten. Their lives mattered. By remembering their suffering, we honor their memory and commit ourselves to building a safer future for all. The threat of natural disasters is ever present. Climate change is increasing the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events. We must act now to mitigate these risks. Investing in infrastructure, improving disaster preparedness, and addressing climate change are essential steps. Protecting vulnerable communities is a shared responsibility. Governments, organizations, and individuals all have a role to play. By working together, we can build a more resilient world where fewer lives are lost to the forces of nature. Let the memory of the 1931 floods inspire us to action.